everybody, welcome to my channel as the Garden Turns. So today I'm going to be making some meringue bone pops and then just some plain meringue cookies. So if you want to just do the cookies, you don't need the treat sticks, but these you get 50 in a bag at Walmart for about $3, something like that. So you're also going to need some decorating bags and a tip, or you can just use a Ziploc bag, cut the tip off, and then pipe it on that way. So to make the meringue bone pops, you're going to need 2 egg whites, an 1/8 teaspoon of cream of tartar, and a 1/2 cup of sugar, which I already have measured out. And then the recipe says to do 1 tablespoon of sugar at a time, so I have a tablespoon here. Okay, and then I have my bowl, and then you're also going to need a mixer. So let's get my egg whites, and everybody know how I do my egg whites. Now, I'm going to have to put the yolks in there, I think. So you want to crack the egg in here. I just broke that, and that was a whole problem. I'm going to use this in my hamburgers for tonight. And I'm going to grab another bowl. See, things don't always go perfect, you see? And the messed up thing is that I had 2 eggs at room temperature, and now I don't. That one just didn't do too. I don't know what is going on with me and cracking eggs lately. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Let's see, I can't save that. No. I'm gonna grab another egg. We just gonna have to make it do what it do. Okay, so I'm just grabbing another egg. Alright, y'all. So let me pour this one in here in my bowl, and then I have another egg yolk that's a little egg that's kind of cooler than the other one because it was in the refrigerator. So let's hope I can still get this to form stiff peaks, because I'm still going to make it. Okay, so what I was thinking that I'm gonna start doing, guys, is like talking. I mean, I know I talk, but like it's gonna be called like cookies in chat. And like each week I'm going to do like a different cookie, and then we'll like talk about something, and like topics, different things that I know about, like health issues that I may have that may help you, and just like little, whatever. So I wanted to talk today about hysterectomies. I know this is like a big thing, but I am a black female who had a whole problem with getting a hysterectomy. But that is a common operation that women are having. And I think a lot of it is like the environmental factors. And but yeah, let me get the measurements in here, and then we'll talk a little bit more. Let me see here. Mostly when I'm piping, I'll be talking. So I got my 2 egg whites. You're also going to need a 1/8 teaspoon, which I just happen to have an 1/8 teaspoon of cream of tartar. And you put that directly in with the egg white. And then, I don't remember because I had to redo this again. But this is also a 1/2 cup of sugar. And then you're supposed to add this 1 tablespoon at a time. So, you're going to need a tablespoon, measuring tablespoon. Okay, so I have my cream of tartar in. I got my mixer plugged up. And I got the power on. So we finna start this up. you can see there are peaks formed and it won't even fall out the bowl. So that's pretty good. So let's start adding our sugar, 1 tablespoon at a time, and then you blend it in with your hand mixer. So this is going to be a long process. So I think I'm going to have some music playing in here, some at points, but you know, just so you know. So let's put in our first tablespoon and get to mixing. And as you guys can see, this is getting fluffy and more like dense. I'm almost done. Y'all, this is thick. This is really thick. Let me see here. Get a spatula so you can kind of gauge on the thickness. Look at that. It's pretty thick. Okay, now I'm going to get my bag set up and I'll be right back. I got my bag loaded here with some meringue and a little tip on the end where I can do a little bit of like drawing. And then I have some cake pops on one of my trays here. I mean, cake pop sticks. I'm going to see if I can, okay, so I want to make a shaft for the bone. Okay. Then you want to put the little bone parts on the end. And then these are like femurs, so they're pretty long. Okay, so I was saying, let's talk about hysterectomies. So I was a nurse at one point, a registered nurse, pretty good at what I did. So when I started having this like really abnormal bleeding, I was like, okay, this is weird. So I went for a while without having anything going on. And then all of a sudden, I started having a cycle again. When I had not had one for a while. And I thought that I was just about to go through menopause. But then all of a sudden, I just started bleeding heavily. It was just like out of nowhere. It just wouldn't stop. So I finally went to the emergency room because I had to end up going to the emergency room. But long story short, I had fibroids and they were blocking my cervix. So, and they were pretty big. So I had to have a hysterectomy because it had grown into my cervical lining and it would just be easier to take out the uterus. Fibroids are a big thing with black women. So look at those beautiful bones. But the feelings that I had from getting the hysterectomy, I started thinking, was I still, it starts to it messes with your head. And it's like, am I still a woman? I don't have a uterus. I had my kids with that, and it's gone. There's all kind of thoughts that went through my head. And they still do, actually. So I never got to go through like a all regular menopause. And the thing here is there are different types of hysterectomies. So you have the partial hysterectomy, and then you have a full hysterectomy. With the partial, they basically just take out your uterus, and they may take out your cervix. And with the total hysterectomy, they take out everything. So everything meaning your uterus, your fallopian tubes, your ovaries, everything is taken out. And no matter what your age is at that time, you are immediately thrown into menopause. When they just do a partial hysterectomy, if you're still left with your ovaries, you are not thrown into menopause. And menopause can be hard on a person, especially if it's just like all of a sudden, because you start losing calcium and bone density, and it's like all of these things that you need. So I'm gonna throw this in the oven, and I have my oven at 225 degrees, and it's just gonna slowly dry those out. Okay, so let me see what I'm gonna do on here. Maybe some ghost, which it just looked like. I can do some, let me see. If I do ghost, it would have to look. You see where I'm going with this? I think I might be able to put some little eyes on it. But I started feeling, you start feeling like less of a woman. And I know, and I was like, I would not feel like that. I didn't think I would, because it's like, that's just not me. But it creeps in. It creeps in. And you have like many hours with your thoughts, because, you have to recover, and it's just a whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So, hysterectomies. And I was 43, something like that, when I got mine. So, and that is a thing that every woman in my family has had. And I come from basically, I have more women in my family than anything, than men. And like I said, almost every one of them, we've all had fibroids, like horrible fibroids. My mother had fibroids. Sorry, Mom. And it was at her service as well. She had to get a hysterectomy as well. So it's starting to be like a family thing in black women, where everybody is just getting hysterectomies. And then my sister's friend had one around the same time that I did, and she had the same symptoms, where she just all of a sudden just started bleeding. It was literally all of a sudden. It just hit. I was like, I don't know if I was using the bathroom or something, but I know I just kept going, and I'm like, it's like it's getting heavier. It's getting heavier. But I don't know. Like I said, I didn't even think. And I was bleeding from my cervix, and it was bad. The amount of blood loss, like I would sit down, and it was at Christmas time too. So like I would sit down for like, say if I sat down for an hour, the moment I stood up, it would just be blood with clots that would just like rush out and be all over the floor. It was just this horrible thing. My son witnessed it. He was like, "Oh my gosh." But it was something to get through, y'all. There's something to get through. And you start thinking, I know that song by, what's his name? Music Soul Child, where he was saying, "I love you when your hair turns gray," and all that. You start thinking, will he love me? I don't have a uterus. But it took a while. I'm good now. It's just the stuff that mess with your head. That's all. That's it. That's all. Okay, so these are going to be ghosts. But if you have to have a hysterectomy, just go and get it done. It's not a big deal. you usually recover. I was like up and walking like 2 days later because I had the partial. So I didn't go completely into menopause all of a sudden. And it's been slowly, menopause has been slowly coming on. I'm 48. And you can just tell, like I can tell. Like for a moment there, I was like having hot flashes, and I was like, if this is, oh my gosh, this is awful. It is awful where you just like, or just like there somewhere all of a sudden, like in my kitchen, and out of nowhere, you just start sweating. It just get hot as hell. And those are called hot flashes. And then you have them at night. You can't sleep. You can't get a good position. Menopause also causes insomnia. So you like up, like, what the hell? I'm hot, and my husband's snoring. Like it was. I don't know what men go through. I don't know. I don't think it's too much of anything, but that's the unfairity of this all. Yes, I said fairity. Like you have to have the kids and menopause and fibroids, and yes, they do have prostate cancer, which we're going to talk about as well on this channel. In this segment anyway. Like I said, this segment is called Cookies and Chat. Cookie Chat? Cookie Chat. That's probably what it is. I must have it, Cookie Chat. So the next week cookie is going to be Do-si-do, copycat Girl Scout Do-si-do peanut butter sandwich cookies, which should be good. And yes, I was a Girl Scout. Let me see. I got another little space up here to put one more little ghost. All right, y'all. I got all those. I'm going to do another tray of bones because I have a bunch of meringue left, and I'm going to use all of this. So this is a gluten-free dessert that doesn't even have a lot of sugar in it. It's got the cream of tartar. Does have a half cup of sugar. That's a lot. So I just lied. But it is gluten-free at least. So I'm going to throw my ghost in the oven. I'm going to get another tray and make some more bones. And then I should see you guys once this comes out. If there are some topics that you want to talk about, something you want to talk about, leave me a comment in the comment section below. And then I'll give you a shout out if I cover the topic or when I cover the topic. And remember, I used to be a registered nurse. So we can talk medical. We can talk whatever. I've been married for 30 years to the same man. My husband is my first and only. So we can talk about a lot of things. If you got questions, if you want to just whatever. And then I might start doing some lives or something because it'll get me out of my shell that I'm in. So that'll be cool. So so what I'm going to do next here is let these bake in the oven on 225 degrees. It says until they're dry. You should be able to pick them up without them like falling apart. And then so I'll see you when I pull them out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as the garden turns. And this is Cookie Chat. Cookie Chat, Cookie Chat. So, all right, I'll see you guys when these are done. Okay, so these have been in here for a little bit over an hour. I cut the oven off and let it cool down with them inside. But these are the bone pops. Those look so cute. My husband's just getting in. The mailman did not pick up my mail again, and I'm really pissed. This is another bones, and then these are my ghosts. So I'm gonna get these all off the seal pad, and then I'll see you. Let's see. You know what? Let's see if this is actually gonna lift off. Let's try one of these. Yeah, that's my husband. Yep. And it is perfect. So I'm gonna put some decorations on these, but let me remove the rest of these off of the tray, and I will see you when I get these all up.